In today's video, we're going to be discussing the Ottawa Senators. They've had to make some roster adjustments due to injuries and players coming off injuries, and we want to take a look at how this team stacks up going forward. And that's coming up next. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. On this channel, we analyze and review all 31 teams with an unbiased opinion, so if you love hockey, consider hitting that subscribe button today so you don't miss anything going forward. Alright, diving into today's content, the Ottawa Senators. They've recently just come back from their Swedish trip, where they played 2 games against the Colorado Avalanche in Stockholm, Sweden, as part of the NHL's Global Series 2017. Obviously, they won both games, so everything went pretty well over in Sweden. And all of their Swedish players had a chance to contribute on the score sheet and perform well in front of their hometown crowd. Obviously, Erik Karlsson played very well, notching several assists over the 2 games. We saw a big goal from Freddie Claesson. You get to do his Freddie Selly, which he says originated in that arena at the Globe in Stockholm. So that was great for him and his fans and his family. Also, Johnny Aduya pitched in with a big goal as well. And even on the Avalanche side, Gabriel Landeskog also performed well. So all the Swedish players put on a good show for their fans. Now that the Senators have returned home, they had some injury updates on both the good and bad front. In Game 1 of the Global Series against the Avalanche, they had an injury to forward Zach Smith, who is expected to be out for approximately 3 weeks with a dislocated thumb. Obviously, the injury wasn't apparent during the game. I know myself, I watched the game and didn't see any obvious incidents where the injury occurred, but it was announced that he missed the second game of the trip to Sweden, and he will be out for approximately another 3 weeks before he can return to the lineup. Upon returning home, they did get some good news as they announced 2 players were activated off injury reserve today. Forward Bobby Ryan, who's been out for just shy of a month after breaking his finger yet again in a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs approximately 4 weekends ago. Mark Borowiecki was also updated off of injury reserve today. He's been dealing with some kind of personal medical issue. They haven't really disclosed a whole lot about what was wrong with Borowiecki, but whatever the problem is seems to be corrected, and he seems to be good to go. Both players are likely to suit up for Thursday's matchup against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They haven't announced yet which players will be sent down to make room on the roster down to Belleville. Most likely scenario is that Ben Harpur is sent down on defense to make room for Borowiecki. The Senators most likely will keep either Nick Paul or Jake Rodwald up with the big club, as obviously, as I just mentioned, they also have the injury to Zach Smith. So with Smith going on injury reserve and Bobby Ryan coming off, that kind of levels things out there. So they still need an extra forward to stick around. Not sure which direction they'll go. Wouldn't be surprised if they kept Nick Paul and gave him a chance to play a few games, as Rodwald's already been up for a while. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Guy Boucher does with his lineup, having Ryan and Duchene both in the lineup for the first time together since the big trade going down last weekend. Obviously, right now it's speculated that Ryan's going to play on a line with Duchene and Hoffman, while they keep Brassard and Stone together on the side with Ryan Dzingel. Either way, those 2 lines should have lots of offensive punch and should bode well for the Senators. Although, on another note, I wouldn't be completely shocked if they put Bobby Ryan back with Brassard and Stone. Obviously, that's where he was playing before the injury, and that line was clicking very, very well. Brassard and Stone have kept up the pace since Ryan got hurt, and hopefully Ryan can continue at the pace that he started at this year, as well as last year's playoffs. I wouldn't be completely surprised to see Hoffman and Duchene play with Ryan Dzingel. I think that line would have a ton of speed and might actually play well together as well. At the same time, though, Bobby Ryan has a little bit better of a shot than Dzingel. Dzingel's not much of a shooter. He's certainly much more of a bit of a skater. He's an excellent skater and a bit of a playmaker. Dzingel's main issue that he needs to work on is his ability to finish. We see Ryan Dzingel get wide open chances and breakaways all the time, and he just doesn't bury enough of them. If he can finish a little bit more of his plays that way, that's certainly going to give him a big boost and give him a chance to solidify himself as a top 6 winger. Comment down below. Let me know, Sens fans, what do you think the coach should do with the lineup? Do you think we should have Brassard and Stone with Ryan? Or do you think it should be Duchene and Hoffman with Ryan? And obviously Ryan Dzingel on the opposite line. Personally, I think Dzingel can go on either line and fill that role at a decent level, so it's not too much of an issue there. I would probably give Ryan a shot with Duchene in the beginning just to see if they can develop some chemistry. As we all know, Matt Duchene's an excellent playmaker, good setup guy, with a left-hand shot. Bobby Ryan has a pretty good playmaker as well, and he's always been told for the last number of years that he needs to shoot more. So Duchene might be able to put him in an ability where he's forced to do that and might help him enhance his ability to score more goals. So obviously they may be a good fit for each other. I would probably try it out for a little while anyways to see how if they can develop some chemistry. If not, I would revert back to putting Bobby with Brassard and Stone. The way those two guys are playing right now, I think it doesn't matter who plays the other wing, that winger is going to benefit from some good playing time in the offensive zone and likely increase their numbers. I know I've been asked the question quite a bit, what do you think of the Matt Duchene deal? Are the Senators a better team with Duchene as opposed to Turris? To be honest, I think time will tell. This is a tough question to answer. Matt Duchene certainly is a dynamic player, and him and Turris are just, they're a different kind of center iceman, so I think time will tell if this is actually an upgrade. I certainly don't think it's a downgrade by any means. Kyle Turris played a big role in this team for a long time. He was a clutch player in key moments, and he's created some memories for Sens fans, especially his overtime goals that'll last a lifetime. So Turris was certainly a very highly counted on player for this team, and he delivered when it mattered most. Now, Matt Duchene, so far, what we can say about him, he's a great playmaker. His ability on faceoffs is top-notch. He's one of the best in the league. And I think his playmaking ability will work well with some of the Senators' wingers. So leave a comment down below. Do you think the Ottawa Senators are a better team with Matt Duchene or not? Give me your thoughts. Personally, I think the main thing that really facilitated this deal was the fact that it was clear as day that Kyle Turris was not going to be remaining with the Ottawa Senators beyond this season. It was actually a very smart move by General Manager Pierre Dorion to go ahead and get a deal done while he could. Obviously, based on their summer negotiations, it didn't look like contract extension talks were going anywhere with the Turris camp. They were insisting on a 7- and 8-year deal at $6+ million per season. That just clearly wasn't going to work for the Senators, and I completely understand why they were hesitant to sign him to that deal. Once it was become apparent that he was not going to be re-signing, they might as well go ahead and trade him to get back another asset that they can hold on to a little bit longer. Obviously, the Matt Duchene contract only buys him one extra season, but still, that's better than nothing if they take the chance of losing Turris at the end of the year for nothing anyways. So at least it gives them an extra year to figure out Duchene if he's a good long-term fit with the club. And they also have to start working on contract extensions for Mark Stone this season and Erik Karlsson next season. You know, those two deals are going to be costing them a fair bit of money, and they need to figure out their long-term budget so that they can figure out where everybody fits in the long-term structure of this team. It certainly will be interesting to watch them play the Pittsburgh Penguins on Thursday night. It'll be the first time they've met since their Game 7 double overtime Eastern Conference Game 7 final, which ended in a dramatic fashion with the Penguins going on to play and win the Stanley Cup. If you like this video, make sure you smash that like button. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think of the Sens lineup now that Ryan's back from injury and Duchene's there as well. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep watching Top Shelf Hockey.